we're going with that. Hey guys, we're back. Welcome to another episode of season 2. Pop, 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 pop. Honey, it's yours. We're back. Better than ever.
Yeah.
Make sure you're liking, commenting, and subscribing on every platform: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Put on that bell for Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And once again, stop right now and do it.
Wherever you are.
We're not playing with y'all this season.
Right. However, we're not liable for any damages that happen as you listen to this podcast.
So please pull over if you are driving.
I'm sorry.
All thoughts are our own and of our own, right?
Right. There you go. There you go. Also, just a second. If you're watching, take a look at the material. Look at the material.
Hair is out.
We stepped. And that's all it is.
Not crazy.
Sorry.
That's crazy.
My fault. I'm just saying how it is. Look.
Go ahead,
Look at the material. 1, 2, 3.
Why are we looking so good this episode, though? I mean, we look good every episode, but...
You thought I was feeling you?
You know, this is the first episode that I'm not really wearing black on the top.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. But we
'Cause
all wear
black.
black.
I love a black.
You do.
I
But you're the only
love
one not
the
wearing
black.
black right now.
I'm like switching you.
Uh-huh. And we're sitting at the end. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
But I love a black.
So,
Black is
it's a little celebratory mood. What are we celebrating, guys?
It's about to be New Year!
covering the brand. We have the juice
The goodies.
that we're gonna pop, at the beginning of this episode as we
Oh,
end off the year.
Like it's somewhere else for me to go.
As we end off the year, we just want to, thank God first and foremost for making us get to this far.
Thanking God and popping the champagne bottles.
Amen.
There has been a lot of death this year,
Yeah.
and to make it this far is a blessing. So
For real.
What a morbid way to start the episode.
No, I'm
There's been a
thanking
lot
God.
of death.
and we no, but we celebrate.
No, I'm starting
we celebrating the
that
lives.
we made it
I know,
this
I'm
far.
just saying. The phrasing.
There has been a lot of death, and you didn't hear the whole thing.
I did hear the whole thing. I'm just saying, wow.
God damn it. Anyway,
Just brought the bottle.
We celebrating the lives that were lost this year.
I appreciate you for holding that.
I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah.
Because I looked at the lights in here and I said, I can't afford these.
So let's pour it up,
Facts.
Let's pour it up, pour it up, pour it up.
Pour it up.
So we gonna have background
A
music
little
for this
rosé.
episode, but it's okay.
A little rosé.
All I see is signs. All I see is dollar signs.
Okay.
You know how the bottle girls be? They're like,
I've been wanting to be a bottle girl like my whole life, but for all of like 8 seconds. Like I don't want to do it as a job, but I
Yeah,
really
I would love the
like
job.
if you guys have birthdays, I really want to be the bottle girls. Like,
Yeah.
I want to do the sparklers on the bottles.
Seek help.
I got you.
I don't want to be the bottle
Seek
girl.
help.
The only thing is,
ASAP.
We could both dance too.
You're right. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
a pro
I'm putting
bottle
a lot
girl,
for myself.
honestly.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I'm pretty
If you're listening to my mic,
I
I'm
was
so sorry.
I'm pouring for you.
Y'all know the vibes.
It's okay. We had all the fuzzy.
If y'all ever end up going out with Rianne,
Cute
you
clip
will
beat.
know what she means.
I'm a bottle
Anybody
girl.
want more?
No,
No,
actually,
thank you.
top me.
I'm not a champagne girly. Can I put some
That's good.
beers in the champagne?
It's not champagne.
It's rosé.
It's rosé.
Berries is crazy.
I mean, any sparkling wine that's not made in the
I took a sip
champagne
too.
France is not champagne.
When you go to the restaurant, they make you taste
What's
it
the
before you leave
etiquette,
table.
bro? All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
To a new year.
Hip hip hip.
All
Bow.
Right. Hip 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 bow. I like that. That's man New York.
I'm not gonna hold you. I've been saying bow in law school, and everybody now says it because I've been saying it. This is really good. So now I have a
Did you just
friend.
ask me to give you
I have a friend from Washington. Shout out to you if you ever listen to this. Now he says bow instead
I know
of.
who you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
He does.
He does.
Actual Washington or the DC?
Washington.
Mm-hmm.
The
Seattle.
state. Yeah.
The windy.
He's from Tacoma.
Wow. Tacoma. What
He
the hell
makes
is
you say.
Tacoma?
He makes me say Tacoma. So
What's in Tacoma? Comment
Nothing.
down below if you're listening. What is in Tacoma?
nothing.
Mm.
I'll tell him we mentioned him in this episode. Actually, he'll actually listen.
But anyway, with the new year comes many new things, especially, everybody wants to come up with resolutions and goals and visions for the year. So what do we think about that?
I'm not a big New Year's resolution person because it really means nothing. I mean, to me personally, like in general, I set my quarterly goals. Shorty's looking at me crazy right
She
now.
said that means nothing.
And then I said to me, after I finish swallowing the gummy bear.
I mean, yeah, I can
But it
see
doesn't like for me like that whole concept in itself kind of just doesn't mean anything to me. Like because it's a new year, I'm here for it. Like new year set new things, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna accomplish it anymore because it's a new year. So in general, I just tend to do like my quarterly goals. And I do my analysis process, and like the new year in itself isn't like an awakening experience. For me.
Process.
I
The way
reckon.
you said it. I reckon I ran.
If you know, you know.
Oh man.
No, but go ahead.
Yeah, that was it. That's my thoughts on the resolutions.
I agree.
Just plan your life.
I agree and I don't agree. I feel like, it's a new year. People like to, be refreshed in something that is new, a new beginning, a new something.
Right.
So that's why they set the New Year's goal. But I also believe that, if it doesn't take for the new year to come for you to set something new, or for you to set a goal, for you to set something a new habit that you want to continue. But if the new year is the time that you need to set that goal, then take the time out to set that goal. For me, I do vision boards every year, and that has helped. I mean, I don't look at the vision board every year, but it does help when I do look back at the end of the year to see what I have accomplished that I wanted to accomplish during the year, and some things that I carry on to next year, because some goals are not annual.
So I realize I do that for my birthday. I don't do that for New Year. Like I start my birthday, like every birthday I choose. Yeah, so I start my birthday and I'm like, this new year, this is the word for the year, and this is the intention for the year. I do it around my birthday time. Yeah,
That's creative.
I like New Year's resolutions. Every January, normally with my church, we do a fast. And we'll do like the Daniel fast, but it's kind of expanded as the years have gone on. So like I'll add in social media. I'll throw in like different types of things that I'm exposed to just to kind of center myself and refocus on God going into the new year. But kind of like what you said, it doesn't take the new year to start like a new goal. So I'm trying to get away from that, especially when it comes to like weight loss goals, especially because I feel like
That's
my
the most
excuse,
common one.
my excuse is always to wait till January to start, and then we get like 3 weeks in, and it's just
Mine is every Monday to start
Folded.
something.
okay. I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like it just because I like to start the year off on a good foot, even though it's a little cliche. I still like the message behind it, so I do it.
Yeah.
I think if it works for you, do it.
Right.
But if you realize that you're a person who like puts things off solely for New Year's around the corner's sake, and then when the New Year comes, it's like, do what works for you.
What about you?
I think for me, it's not much of like I don't really make resolutions. I think what I see New Year's as is more thanksgiving to God for another year. Like I've made it past, especially nowadays. Especially nowadays with like the world we're living in, the amount of evil that's happening around us, all of that stuff. Like
Talk about it.
genuinely being intentional about like
Thanking
a new
God.
year coming and thanking God for me still existing, me still accomplishing all that I've done in the last year, like through Him, obviously. Like that's what I've been since like undergrad. Because before like undergrad, it was like, oh, I'm like gonna make a New Year's resolution, but I never do it. So like now I'm like nowadays in recent years, like I'm more intentional about like understanding that like thank God that I made it here for another year. And then my goals just carry in whatever I didn't accomplish in the previous year that I wanted for myself, I carry into the next year. And I give myself grace to accomplish that in the right time.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
So, I guess what are some goals that we have? It's hard, like.
So we're each in different phases of life, so I think it's interesting to see like what everybody's goals are. If you tuned into the last episode,
Which you should have done. So if
kind
you didn't
of-
pause, go back, come back.
right, we kind of touched on, Danae kind of touched on like something that she wants for herself in this current phase of life. So like see, that's what's crazy.
I thought you were gonna ask me.
No,
Watch YouTube
Well,
so you can see all these faces if you're listening.
so I'm gonna target the question to you first. Like, what do you want for yourself in different aspects of life? So I'll say socially,
So you mean
romantically.
outside of the romantically?
No. Listen to what I just said. Socially,
romantically, financially,
and financially and academically.
or careerically. How you say that for
Career-wise.
And if
There you go.
they each cross over into each other, because sometimes they do.
Yeah.
By all means.
So,
Cycle.
Socially. So I don't have. So I'm doing a lot of growing right now in terms of the way in which my primary way of receiving or feeling love outside of the love languages. I'm a communicative person, and like the way I've grown up, the spaces I've grown up in, the examples I've had, close friendships to me for the most part, because I have long distance close friendships, but like I've grown up with people who have that person that they talk to all the time, things of that nature. So like I think right now I'm going through a phase in general, like one with being in school, and also just understanding that all of my people are in the growing pains seasons of lives where we're figuring things out. So I'm trying in general socially to figure out what works for me in terms of communication and the other person as well, and like balancing that out more. So I don't know how to like really put that into like a pretty sentence of like my goal is, but I think I'm giving myself a little bit more grace in like understanding my feelings and stuff around that, asking for what I need, but also understanding that just because I need it doesn't mean that the people around me need that as well, and giving them grace, and also just coming to terms with like you can't always get what you want in every facet of your life. So that's that.
Romantically.
I was supposed to be like career-wise.
Yeah, let's go down the list.
Romantically, I'm not actively doing anything for that. Like, it's weird because as much as I'm ready for that, I'm very much in a phase where it's still not the first thing on the list. Like, everything else I want to accomplish, I feel like I need to actively work towards, and when that comes, it will come. Of course, you have to position yourself to be in spaces to allow that to happen. But like, no, it's not like, oh, I'm ready for a romantic relationship, so I need to start going out more because I'm in a library, because I'm trying to get A's, frankly. So in a like beautiful, ideal world, and honestly, like I've been saying this from jump, like I would love to meet my husband in law school. One, because of the convenience, but also two, like I would really much love to have somebody go through that experience with me, so that when we come out on the other side, they can understand how we made it here and how and why we are the people that we are in that space. Because I think seeing people on the other side of certain relationships, or like certain like dynamics in careers and stuff like that, it's a lot easier to like come to terms with, in a sense, as to like how did they get here, or whatever. Like for me, I have my own business, and I also am now going to be a lawyer in the next few years. I'm not changing my last name. Like doctors don't have that problem. Like they know like that's my name. So like there's a certain like, little things like that mean nothing, but also bigger things like why are you the way you are? It's a lot easier in general to kind of understand that when you went on the ride with the person. And that's an old thing. So that's just like a thing I would like. But if it doesn't happen that way, I'm totally fine meeting you in the street too. If you could get me to stop and talk to you on the street, you already win. Because that's the
you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. I mean gentlemen.
And especially in New York.
Facts.
Yeah.
Where they throwing people in front of trains. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then like outside of that, academically and like in my career,
So crazy. I'm sorry.
I'm being very open. Like I know what I want in terms of like my long-term goals for myself, but I'm also in a phase of my life where like the bubbles are making me burp, guys. I'm sorry, and that burp stink. That was not a good burp. Sorry, because I know you smelled that.
Free ass.
Guys. Nah, you need somebody that's gonna go through this with you.
Oh my god, that was such a mom thing to do, and that was like that's like one of my pet peeves because my mother does that.
And look at you now.
Oh my god, I am my mother's child. Whoa.
Jeez.
But to sum it up, so we can move on to somebody else. But I think I'm very much in a phase where I'm being very intentional about my relationship with God. And very much in a phase where it's like not my will but yours, and with that comes a lot, because when you start praying that and you start asking him to remove things, you should see how quickly things disappear. You're like, whoa, bring it back. Oh wait, or slow it down, or like it can be drastic at times, but I don't want to be too on what that is, because I understand that things could change in the drop of a hat. But if it was to be my way, like financially, like academically, career-wise, in school, I just want to do the best I can do. I want whatever job I end up in to be the job that I'm intended to be in, and that one that also fosters the other aspects of my life as well, because that's a new thing now. Law firms are trying to do that. Like big law firms are trying to do that. But big law, all that, I don't know. I don't have a main thing for that in particular. Finances, right now, this quarter, I'm being very very intentional about my finances and starting over. Running a business is very hard, and I've been going through a lot in terms of that. And I went through I'm putting everything I have into this phase, literally closing accounts, emptying accounts just to finish things and get things moving. And because of everything else that I'm trying to do, I need to start rebuilding that side of myself. So that's what I'm doing this year. I'm going back to my old plan of every check I get, percentages, moving it around, pushing it. I was a big percentage girl. So whether I've got $50 or $5K, it was 5% goes here, 10% goes here, 12%, and I'm going back to doing that because I'm in a place now where that's something that's stressing me and it's hindering me from doing everything else that I want to do to the best of my ability. So I'm being intentional in this quarter of my life, and honestly for the rest thereof, I'm saying it here, hold me accountable, I'm done. I'm not doing that again. I'm being intentional about that in particular. I think that's maybe my most intentional goal for this year, that and just putting God first and allowing him to really take over and ordain the different parts of my life and let things go where they go and let things fall into place. And yeah, I know that was a mouthful, guys, but I hope y'all got something from that.
I would think I guess I'll go next. For me, hopping off of the putting God first, I think for this year, I always have that on my vision board as the first thing I put on there, because without him, nothing is possible. But I feel one thing that this year, I always like to start off the new year with things that I've learned from the past year before I talk about the new year. So one thing that I've definitely learned is, and I caught myself saying this on one of the episodes of season 1, was I'm going through life off the strength of God and the past prayers, or not the current prayers, if that makes sense. All the prayers that I've done to get to where I wanted to be, I didn't continue once I got there, if that makes sense. I was praying.
You prayed for it, and when you got it, you said thanks. You never prayed
thanks,
for it.
I'm working off of the strength of the prayers that I did before I got there. And my intention for this next year is to be continuing that, because when you go off the strength of what you've done before and not continuing that continuous relationship, I guess the best thing I could put into words, I saw this video on Instagram, was the director of Michael Jackson. One of the videos was the floor lit up regardless of the music, and that was the director's viewpoint of how he wanted the music video to go. So Michael Jackson had to be in sync with the beat, so that it looked like every time he stepped, the floor was gonna light up. But it wasn't meant for him to. It wasn't that light up.
It wasn't him
thing.
Stepping to light it up. It
Right.
Was light up regardless. Yeah.
So it's for me to just get in line with what the director, meaning God, wants to light up in my path. I have to make sure that I'm in line with him and making sure that if I'm moving forward, it's because he told me to move forward. And if things are getting taken away out of my life, it's because this is what needs to happen, and I'm not so affected by that. So that is number 1. So that goes across socially, romantically, academically, career-wise.
Boy.
He's in careerly.
She can't get there, but it's fine. We there for her.
Career-wise, and I'm taking out academically because, in my mind, he listens to the desires of my heart. I'm not going back to school no more.
Yo, honestly, every day I'm in school, I'm like, how did we get here?
Because I'm not going back to school. The most school I'm doing right now is finishing up my test, and that's this year's goal. So that's not even. I'm not even bringing that over the next year, because we already talked about that, and that's in this year. We're doing that this year. So that's that overall. For socially, I guess my goal would be to. I don't know. I really haven't thought about goals in those specific categories. Overall,
those are hard categories.
I mean, you don't have to go off that category.
It was a good baseline.
Yeah, but it's I guess socially, it's just if I feel like somebody's on my heart to actually reach out to them, which I have started doing. So I guess that's one thing socially. What's the next one? Romantically. That's the director up there.
Somebody come get
Call me, beat me if you
And that's the director up there. That's another episode about like.
We should do a speed dating episode.
Yes. Oh my god.
No.
I've been trying to get
in
into
real
speed
life
dating.
I'm bad at dating. I get so nervous on dates. Oh my gosh, I get so nervous.
I don't know about y'all, but you feel like the guys that show up to speed dating are weird.
I feel like anybody that speed dates is weird. And if you speed date, I'm talking about you too.
I feel like the people who show up to that are weird. I don't know. Going to events specifically for dating or to find dating, if it gives,
I'm never doing that.
It gives like reality TV love shows, and
Yes.
I don't really like.
And I love that.
I don't really like that. I don't believe in that. I don't know. God himself, the director's gonna have to tell me that.
I love to watch it.
So romantically, we're gonna leave that into the hands of the director.
Thanks.
What was the other one?
Offering
Career-wise, for the next year, we're moving on to new and better things. So for my career this year, I want to be in a place where I am continually giving back to those behind me, because that's one thing that is very important to me, and that I try to
Go ahead, Kaumba.
express in my last place. So that's one thing that like made my job enjoyable, was giving back to people that's coming behind me. 2 is to be on a team or to be in a place where I feel like I'm part of something that is bigger than me. So I feel like that's something that I really like to do. I really like to do, like, for example, either helping you with lounging or helping with my my sister's businesses, or like helping small businesses. Or that's always been a goal of mine to. So like when I first started accounting, when I first started accounting, my goal was to be a financial advisor for rookies going into the NFL, right? And now I feel like that has changed into being the business advisor type thing for small businesses, especially small Black businesses, and more so in the media or tech space, because there needs to be a lot more representation in that industry.
Amen.
So that's, I like that industry, media and tech. So
Need her? Call her.
that's what I would like to do. So being part of a bigger vision, not just we here to make the buck, but you have an actual mission statement that means more than just the dollar.
And that doesn't change because of what your company needs to, what rating they need to get on Better Business Bureau, but we can talk about that another time.
What else? Career-wise. And yeah, I guess career ties into financially. I know my worth.
Period.
So that is that. And financial goals for myself would be every year. For me, I take finances very seriously, because I understand the value of a dollar. So it's just continuing those good habits, continuing getting to that 800 score, as long as we about to touch it. So I like that. Whenever I get the email that I'm almost there, so I like that. But yeah, also we talked about last episode about that ideal of living by myself. So we're still marching as slow or as fast as we get there. We're marching there, and I don't want to put myself in a position where I have to come back home. So,
Because that's embarrassing, y'all.
With respect.
So that's that. And spiritually, I guess I touched all of those.
Right.
Go ahead.
Bad
I
girl.
can talk about time.
So I guess similar to the other ladies, number one goal is definitely to strengthen my relationship with God. I feel like I've been straying away as far as like the word, like the physical Bible. Like I feel like I know the stories of the Bible, but I don't think I've ever actually sat down and read the Bible in its entirety from cover to cover. It's been very much a passage here, a passage here, a passage
Oh my
here.
God, you want to do it together? We can start in January.
It's like a devotional thing,
Yeah, they have the 1 year Bible. That one is kind of whack though.
It is kind of whack. I tried
I can
it a
get you
couple
another
years
one, because
ago.
we do it at my church every year.
Okay, because I do want to read it cover to cover in its entirety.
Why don't you just start besides the devotional, just page 1?
Just You know, and the thing is,
That's the one-year Bible. It starts in
I've
Genesis.
gotten to Exodus. So
it's hard. Like those first couple chapters are real hard.
hard,
And then when you get to Numbers, oh my gosh, it's just.
I mean,
they come from here.
Are you talking about the generational things? Or
the generational things be
or like-
killing me, bro.
but-
It'll be like so and so had 5 children. His last descendant was so and so. He had 16 children. His last descendant was so. And I'm just like, so how many pages I gotta read about so and so's descendants?
But it's also
and how does that
understand
help
that the
me?
Bible wasn't necessarily written in the order that it's put in. That's why like there's other kinds of things. Because like reading that on its own means nothing, but when you understand the bloodlines, then it starts to make sense. Who was
Because
the
when they
descendant
said
of
the
who?
children of Abraham.
Yeah,
That's
you
all
understand.
done.
Now you
That's
go
the
back
children.
and reference.
Right. Okay.
Okay, but sorry, we cut you off.
No, it's cool. That's definitely like my number one goal is to get through the Bible cover to cover. I feel like I'm happy with my relationship with God. Like I feel like we're close. Like I feel like I'm not far in that aspect, but a lot of things keep bringing me back to not having enough of the word in my life. So I feel like I need to read more of the Bible, and I've seen that pop up in a lot of different places. And you know, there's no such thing as a coincidence for real. So like, I know he's trying to tell me something. Like I even saw a TikTok the other day, and it was probably a week after I've been having these things where I like wake up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, random, have to pee, mad. So I go pee, go back to bed, and then I saw a TikTok, and it was like, if you ever find yourself like in random times like waking up, maybe that's God trying to tell you that He wants more of your time, of just like quiet time. And I was like, yo, I've been waking up like that for a week, so it's still been happening. And so now every time I wake up, I still go pee. I'm like, hey man, like what's up? Like, and I'll sit down and I'll pray for like, I'll spend even like 5 minutes in that just to like give some time, because I do find that in my schedule I get very wrapped up in the everyday things of this earth, and there's a lot more to life than this. So
sidebar at the end, I'm gonna ask you guys a very personal question, but you don't have to answer it. But if you do answer it, we'll go. But it's about that, so just
okay.
I'm gonna ask you,
Stick a pin.
what's your prayer for the year, so that I could pray it with y'all. Not like with y'all, but like I could keep it. Okay, whatever. No, not together. I don't do that.
Okay, that's fine.
Still working on that part.
Right.
But yeah, I think that spiritually, relationship wise, I want to continue to thrive in my relationship. I feel like Patrick and I are really good right now, in like a really good place. Like we pray every morning together.
That's so cute.
We're very honest. It's very good communication, and I want it to stay that way. Like it's very good vibes, and I don't want it to
That's
go
not wood.
any.
That's marble.
Do you have any wood in your?
No, we don't do wood down here.
We don't need
Knock on
to.
the noggin.
Jesus. You hear the desires in my heart. So it's like, you see what I'm saying? So like relationship wise, I think I'm, straight, no chaser. I mean, nothing else. You feel me?
Right. Like that straight, no chasing.
You feel me? I popped out off the dome. What else we got? Career wise, want a new job. Perfect. Want a new job. I'm praying that next year is my year to really find my career, not just a job. I feel like I've had a lot of jobs and I haven't made it to my career yet. So I'm really looking forward to the career Rianne. If that's Miss Wilson, then Lord, give me peace with that decision.
Or put you in a place where that can still be it, but it's maybe just not your environment.
Yeah, so whatever that may be. And I don't know, there was something else. But the same way I'm forgetting, if you are ever looking into writing your own goals, write them down. Almost like a prayer journal. You could have a goal journal where you put down something you want to accomplish, and then write down when you accomplish it too. Because I know same thing with like a prayer journal. Like when you check off and like look back at your prayers and look at when they've been answered, that's like really refreshing to know that you're not just speaking into the oblivion and getting nothing in return. Because God is answering prayers every day, and sometimes you forget that you prayed about it a week ago.
Right. So. And to add on to like writing down the goals, sometimes it's just not just to do it in vain, just to write it down, but actually think about what it takes to accomplish that goal.
It's intention.
Like set that intention,
right.
And just think about like what you need to, like if you want your savings account to be this amount, what do you need to do from today? Do you need to take the recurring reload off of Starbucks? Do you need to stop and take off at least one food delivery app off your phone? Like what steps do you need to take where you can cut back on the cost or increase your income?
You're yelling.
But I'm saying, like, a lot of people want to save money during the year, lose weight.
What else? Ashley's yelling.
You're not doing anything.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
We say we want it, but what are we doing?
What are we
so
doing?
go ahead. Write it down.
You good?
Financially, I want 20K in my savings account
Per.
by December 31st, 2024. What is it? 24? 23?
23.
2023, I want 20K in
She
my savings
skipped the
account.
whole year.
Absolutely.
She gonna do it. That's the thing.
That's what I want for myself. And financially, that's the goal. Nah.
It's not
So
bad.
before
Oh, wait, just to add a little
Pee-wee.
high yield savings account. Every
I got like
other
3 of those.
month, I get a email saying that my APY goes up.
Goes
So,
up.
high
I do
yield
have
savings.
those, but I don't
What
like
is
count
that? High yield
those.
savings?
So
High
a high
yield.
yield savings. So basically, a regular savings account, you probably get like a penny every
Yeah.
month, right?
Change.
But with a high yield, is a higher interest rate.
Mm-hmm.
So annual
You get
interest
a little
rate.
more money
So you
back.
get a little bit more.
How do you
And
set that
you-
up?
Yeah.
How you set that up?
You
There's
search them up and see
Nerd
different
Wallet,
kinds.
no sponsorship, but Nerd Wallet, you can just search up like top high yield savings accounts. And I think right now is the Amex and the Marcus one. So Marcus is backed by Goldman Sachs and Amex is Amex.
Yeah, I have an
And
Amex
most
one.
of those aren't like connected to a card.
It's just the same.
So if you need to take the money out, you have to like go through the app
whole
and like
process.
set a transfer to your other account.
So I have high yield savings accounts. That's one thing that I kept in all my, like I'm not crazy. And like that's what I do. Like I don't have the app on my phone. It's literally just I went online, submitted made the account. I do a minimum, like I do like a monthly transfer from my account, and that's that
It just
Yeah.
stays there.
for me. And like so when I'm ready to go into that, I have to go online into the app, figure the whole thing out. Like I set it up and I never look back. All I know is I get the text on my phone and then the money comes out and I'm sad for like 3 days. And then I'm fine. But you do get those messages.
Okay.
And there's also like outside of those, there are other ones as well. Like like all those like those apps you could like pay in for like Affirm, Klarna.
Yeah.
They also have really good high yield savings accounts, which a lot of people
Klarna has savings.
I don't know if Klarna does. I have an Affirm one, and
Klarna takes my money, that's
Ally
fine.
also is really
See,
good.
is that something that you need to cut off them Klarna afterpays?
Yeah.
No.
If you're gonna do Klarna Afterpay, one thing that I have a separate account for that, so I'll move the money there and then let it
pay
take
out
it out
that
that
way.
month. But they also have really good high yield accounts that a lot of people don't know about. Like my Affirm one is the same amount as my Amex one.
I'm sorry. Are you guys saying high yield?
Yield, yeah.
Yield. Okay.
Yeah.
No, not high
So instead of like
yield. I keep hearing high yield. I'm like, what?
0.01 or whatever, like it's like
Literally
0.6.
0.0.
So
That's
it's
3%.
That's tough.
yeah.
3%. Say less. We seeing that 20K.
All right.
Also,
Anyways.
this has nothing to do with this, but going back to the adulting and in general in life, as soon as y'all get them kids, open that 529.
And then another thing, dropping gems. Like life insurance is for when you're living and not for when you're dead. But there's a whole, I guess for the financially, let's put that in the whole thing. Do research, guys, especially our Black people, please.
Yes.
We always talk about generational wealth. What are we doing?
Oh, we gonna talk
And
about
like,
that.
I'm not here to be against the social media learning, but like, go learn.
I mean, social media learning helps.
It's a good starting
You know
point,
what?
but that's not the entirety of the knowledge in a lot of
Shout
things.
out to Earn Your Leisure. That's another podcast. I think it's 2 Black men on there, 2 or 3, I can't remember. 2 or 3 Black men on there talking about like legit financial wealth.
Last time she had
but
a
like
bottle, we had a little.
that whole finance
What's
thing,
your beef, bro?
let's put some action words behind it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, savings. That means that maybe you need to stop going out every Friday.
No more Shein purchases, guys.
Shein purchases.
No more Shein. That's what I just
TLT.
said.
Guys, stop freaking betting on FanDuel. That's where you lose your money.
And y'all be embarrassing yourselves because y'all be talking about it in public, then y'all be real quiet.
Nah, but wait, I'm not gonna hold you. Some people really hit.
Yeah,
Like,
some
not hit.
people.
Some people flip 5 into 5K,
Yeah,
bro.
some people.
That's tough.
That's
like,
some.
if you have the ability to do that, by all means,
Until
Swing
the
a dollar
person
first.
you betting on,
swing $1 first.
they flop on the game.
Yeah, just give me a little gift.
Like you say, they about to put 20 points and they
I'm
hit
crying.
18. You gonna be sick.
Unless you that's so Raven, you shouldn't be using the app. Period.
Nah.
Oh God. So I just want to say before I say any of my goals that y'all, like all 3 of you, were number 1 very self-aware about your goals.
Mhm.
Number 2 very intentional about how you want to accomplish your goals. And number 3 reflected on what you did wrong in the past year and use that to make your new goals.
Yeah.
I think people nowadays don't understand what it is to make a goal.
Osmosis.
it's not just you say words and it comes into light. However,
or they just see something and they want it.
Exactly. So I think when you are watching this, pause for a second. Sit down with yourself. Seriously, reflect on the good things and the bad things in the last year. And I'm sure every one of us has struggled in her own way. Every one of you has struggled in your own way. So write, and we say write because you see it in front of you and you're intentional about it. Holds you accountable. Mm-hmm. Write down what strengths and weaknesses. Those weaknesses, make a goal for each one to overcome that weakness. And then the next year, you see yourself grow from point A to point Z, from the beginning of the year to the end of the year.
Or to T, because it's also okay. I think and this is not to like don't use it as a fallback, but also sometimes when you sit down to make those initial goals, you may not realize all that goes into it. So also understand, going back to what I said about like quarterly analysis and looking at what you have done.
Right.
Understand that the timeline may change on those goals, and that does not equate to failure of the goal. It just means that you now have to change the plan. Like the plan is being altered slightly for you to get there. So if it's not
even altered, the plan just needs more time.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like if you get to December 31st, 2023, and you ain't there yet, as long as you did the work to get to where you are consistently, there's no problem. Like you just continue doing what you have to do to get to your goal,
and see where you can tweak to be more efficient in the time that you're spending. Because let's say like you wanted to reach a goal, but then you're saying that it's another year and I still have not reached this goal. All right, I've been doing this consistently, but what can I add to my routine? What habits can I add to make me that much closer to where I want to be? And also where you want to be. Man makes plans and God laughs. Like if you didn't learn anything from COVID, bro, if you planned your whole life for the 2 years and nothing happened, it's because God did not want it to happen, bro. That was not in his will to happen. And sometimes you just got to come back and be like, yo, what does he want for my life?
Mm-hmm. Right. So I think it also takes being realistic with yourself and your ability at the time period of your life that you're in.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So for me, I can't say that I want to travel around 7 different countries in the next year when I have a degree to earn and I have things to accomplish. I have to move around my priorities and figure something out in a way where maybe it's not 7 countries, but it's 1 country and it's some accomplishment.
Maybe it's in-state. I mean, I know for you that's on the table, but like maybe it's like in-state travel or whatever.
Right. So
that was something I had to come to terms with in a real way. That's my only bucket list to go everywhere. So I was like, damn, I'm here.
Right.
Local.
I think another thing. Damn, I had something to say.
I'm sorry, I messed you up.
Just like being intentional about how you set your goals and giving yourself grace and time to accomplish these goals. Time is passing, yes, but also you can't rush your own process. You can't rush the process that God gave you. That is his path that he has set
Sarah,
for you.
We just have to take a quick moment. Sis just ripped off her lashes in the middle of the episode.
It was bothering my eye. Y'all know about me in these eyes, okay? I'm not doing that.
Maybe it's the lash.
That threw me all the way off, bro.
Listen, raw content. That's what you're getting.
But
it's just
self-awareness.
I think nowadays people are so stuck in their own bubble of what their reality is, and they forget to look outside of their bubble and look at what reality is. So please be realistic with yourself and come to terms with your weaknesses and use that to strengthen you to push forward.
What if someone doesn't know? I think, what if they don't have anybody in their corner to like check them?
I think it's half and half. Where I understand that you don't have that guidance, but it's also on you to come to terms with that and seek help.
Yeah,
go get guidance.
What are you doing to fix that? Because
it is easier said than done.
Because some people live in delusion, and there's this whole thing of like, let me just be delusional for a second, like. Let me live in delusion.
That's like a whole nother thing.
And our generation is notorious
for living in delusion.
Notorious for this characteristic, bro.
And I that was
is bliss.
One thing I wanted to say, like, I mean, there are 2 real things I wanted to say in terms of like how to kind of ensure to a certain extent that you accomplish your goals. And one of the things I was gonna say is like, tell somebody.
I was gonna say don't tell somebody.
Okay, but no. I'm saying don't tell everybody. But in terms of true accountability, I feel like I was kind of raised not raised, but like one thing I've learned over the years is telling one person helps to keep you accountable. Everybody does not need to know the ins and outs of your lives because, like, I'm sure we're actually going to go into, people pray for your downfall just as much as they pray for your success, if not more. Mm-hmm. Okay, so everybody don't need to know how you doing. I'm blessed and highly favored. Thank you for asking. God bless you. That's how you can keep it. But in terms of like genuinely holding you accountable to specific things, I've always benefited from just that one person knowing, and that one person also don't need to know everything. But like you may know something in more depth, in more detail, and because I have that relationship with you and we've developed the space where we can also, as much as we uplift each other, we also correct each other, we also can hold each other to a standard. You can also come to me and be like, so what happened to that goal we set? Like where are we with that? Right. Because what is life if you have nobody to go through it with you? And like what are these friendships or relationships that you're developing if they aren't able to sustain you or get you through some times?
Okay, so in the same breath of telling somebody to help you be accountable, how do you tell I don't know, this is not the right way to say it, because you should never tell somebody their goal is unrealistic, but how do you tell somebody that, hey, maybe we need to set SMART goals, you know, when we were in school? Specific, measurable, attainable, reasonable, and timely. Like, how do we tell somebody, like, hey, the goal of being a rapper this year is not going to happen?
So I think it's, like, Rian just said she wants to save 20K by the end of next year. If I didn't think she couldn't do it, I would be like, yo, bro, why don't you do 5K, 10K? But I know she could do it. That's the thing. So I'm not going to...
5 is nuts.
I'm not going to stop her, and I'm not going to, like... But if it comes to that, where I know she's not... It's my responsibility as a friend to be truthful to her. But if she can't take what I'm saying, that's on her, not me.
Because, yeah, I was about to say, like, once again, we're choosing our friendships and we're choosing the people to be around us for a reason. And, oh my gosh, you see, this is why I don't drink the bubbles.
All right.
I hope the mic picked that up. I hope the mic picked that up.
It picked up both of them. But, yeah, no more for you.
Just
move the cup, bro.
Move the cup.
And she was like, yeah, she was like, no, not talking.
Sorry.
But I'm saying
she did ask for the bubbles.
No, but what I'm saying, like, I get what you're saying, but it's also like in friendships, like, one, you gotta know your friend. Two, but it's also like you gotta be able to tell me, bro. And like, it's gonna hurt sometimes, and that's the test of the friendship. But at the end of the day, you did your part and you made sure. And like, there's a difference between bashing somebody and telling them like, nah, like you're not able to handle that, versus telling somebody something in love. Cause you can, like, as long as you're saying something in love, it's okay, in my opinion.
But who was the judge of that?
I feel like that's the strength of your relationship.
So in the same thing of telling somebody that they can't reach a goal or giving somebody a goal,
I think you have to communicate it the way they want it.
The way they
would receive it.
I wanted to give somebody a goal. I'm just saying the same like thought process of telling somebody, hey, let's be more smart about your goal. How about here's a goal for you for the
give a solution.
So I don't know. For me personally, I don't think you should come up to me with goals. I don't think that will go well.
Should people give other people goals for the?
Because it's like, you don't need to sit here and kind of like tell me what I need to do. That's just me. But I'm not against like me coming. Like, actually, I want to say 20K. Now my approach. This is just Danae approach. I would be like, how? What's the plan?
That's your way of saying don't do that, bro.
No, my thing is, maybe you have something that you have not expressed to me yet. So, and guess what? If the math ain't mapping, now you have a space to be like, okay, so maybe that's a great goal, but like realistically, maybe we should aim for 12, and if we reach the 20, we did that. Like, if you have the extra 80, put it in the account. But for now, based on where we are now, because we don't know what tomorrow holds, where we are now and the way things are going, let's aim for 12. Like, that's how because I've had that conversation with people, and I just asked them how. And if you can't tell me how, then
I can say how. Just saying. If you would like to know.
But that's exactly the point.
I think you got to yourself.
I'm saying, like, if I don't believe
that was just an example.
If I don't believe
but do you need your friends to believe that you can do a goal to do a goal?
No.
I'm just asking questions.
You absolutely don't.
Because
But I'd rather you prove me wrong than prove me right.
I'm not gonna hold you. I didn't think I would make it this far in the process that I'm in. And having people around me who were like, you can do this. This is your goal. You can do this. Mm-hmm. Come on. Get up. Do it. All of this stuff. Granted, now I'm doing this by myself. But in getting here, it was the words of affirmation from everybody in my life that like made this goal like something that I could do for myself. I didn't think I could do it. When we started this podcast way back in March, I literally, as we were watching before this, I just said, I had no idea where the hell my life was going. I had no idea what I was going to accomplish. I had no idea where I was going to be. Look at me now, but it's also, I can't say that I did that by myself. Mm-hmm. So that in that case, 100% I would need people around me to achieve that goal.
I know this is such a crazy thing to say at times, and like people, like, no, it's not a crazy thing to say, but it's, find your people. Forget your people, find your person. And I'm saying this because I feel like for certain people who may listen to this, and like I have people in my brain, sometimes it's very hard to listen to this knowing the makeup of this room. Mm-hmm. And as much as we have our struggles and stuff, we also have a certain amount of privilege, and I like to put it in quotes because in the grand scheme of life, but like we have a certain amount of privilege sitting on this side of the table. Like I know somebody who literally was planning on going to law school before me, and at this point, they're taking care of their whole family. So like, it's a lot harder to like say these things, and like technically her circle, she can't count on anybody in that circle to make things happen. But like, find your person, because God did not make us to be alone. And like when everything hits the fan, your person, if that's your person, like they can help get you through that. And I think it's so important, like no matter what, to find your person. And if you don't have a person, and even if you do have a person, because you can have multiple people who help you with multiple things, but one thing that my goal to everybody who's listening to this is to like be intentional about finding people who can help you along the way. And not like, oh, you're just like, you have to have something to offer as well, but also a lot of times you may not see that in yourself, and that same person who you're looking to uplift you end up uplifting them as well. But like that's like my goal to everybody on this, like find your person. Mm-hmm. I made that a very hard segue into anything else, but yeah, find your person.
Right.
It's so important to me.
And it may take a phase of solitude and being by yourself first, because I think like a goal of mine in this last year was to learn to appreciate being alone, mm-hmm. and not see it as a negative thing, and to mm-hmm. appreciate being in your own place, your own peace, like making your own decisions, not having to depend on somebody else. But for me, because I hate saying this because I hate people, but I love people and I can't help it. Mm-hmm. God created me this way, that I like genuinely love talking to people, getting to know people, socializing, all of this stuff. So I do want somebody special in my life at some point in the next year.
That's what I'm saying.
But so I'm in this phase right now. I'm kind of fighting with myself of, I love being by myself. This is peaceful. This is safe. Nobody's telling me what to do. I don't get into fights with anybody. I have my peace. On the other hand, I'm getting lonely, kind of want somebody in my life, like,
I think I'm on the total, like, other end of the spectrum where it's like, I don't find loneliness in me being alone. Like I'm so comfortable in me being by myself, where it's like, it's like for me, it's harder for me to think about me being with somebody.
Interesting.
Than to be like, I had to take.
Do you think you wouldn't get married?
Do I think I wouldn't get married? No.
No, I don't mean like.
I fear getting to that place.
It's
beautiful. Not because it's a bad thing, but I just no. I know myself.
But you would not get out of it.
I will not turn back.
Nah, because
I will love it. I will enjoy my peace too much and get too comfortable.
No, but
and I will not turn back.
But then the beauty of it all is that you can then detect when, you know what, this ain't even worth it. But then it's also of the fact where it's like you could say it too fast. You know what I'm saying? You could say, oh, this is not even worth it too fast. But then you have that
discernment.
I guess you can call it discernment in yourself, or that feeling was like,
you're able to
I'm
see
good.
What's disrupting your peace that needs to remove.
I am chilling. I'm chilling to the fact where it's like, to make $1 million, it will come. It's easy, bro. Like, I have nobody, nothing to disrupt my plan, my vision. It's just me and the director above, and I know that regardless of anything, it's me and him that's walking.
I guess that just proves different dynamics of people. Because I just know myself, Sarah can't survive that.
But it's also because I also enjoy social settings.
Right. No, I agree. Yeah,
we're
the same with that.
I enjoy a social setting, but it's to the point where it's like, if it comes down to it.
So I also think it's hard though, because they're my close friends, but I do have other friends, and within the same time period, everybody was getting cuffed. And I mean everybody. And now, like, another friend of ours who is usually not cuffed with me is now, like...
Who knows? She just asked me if I got cuffed. Who knows?
Is now in a phase of getting cuffed, so it's like... damn. Everybody can bring, like, their man or something over to the next phase or something. And I'm just like, no, but it's a learning curve, too, for me still. Because in that space, I don't have anybody, but I still appreciate me being by myself in that space.
But this is also going back into the goals thing. The comparison is a thief of joy, right? Mm-hmm. If you didn't see nobody getting cuffed, you wouldn't have thought about anybody getting cuffed, right?
I can't. That's hard,
bro.
Yes,
the problem
is hard,
and that's the problem. That's the problem. You need to remove. If you remove everything, you wouldn't have. That's the problem. You wouldn't have known nobody was getting cuffed if nobody was saying they're getting cuffed. Now you, it's like nobody was saying the word elephant, and now that I said elephant, everybody think about elephant.
It's not like I'm sitting there comparing, like, oh, she has a boyfriend and I don't. But it's like, that is something that I desire for myself, and it's something that I want for myself. Mm-hmm. It's not like I'm sitting there like, ugh. But I feel like this and this has a boyfriend.
Not in the sense
I want one too.
I want one too, but you realize the lack that you have, because, like, the way that you were saying it, I'm saying the way I'm hearing it is like, because everybody around you was.
Would you have been pressed to have it
so
right now?
That was earlier.
You would have recognized earlier.
That was earlier this year. Yeah. Nowadays, I'm learning that everybody's in their own phase of life. That is the learning curve that I had on my vision board. Literally on my vision board earlier this year was to learn solitude and to be by myself. And in being by myself right now, I am preparing my, like, mentality, my spirituality, my emotions, all of that, to be able to put myself back out and to be able to do all of these things. But in that, I'm enjoying being by myself, which is good. But again, you know yourself, where if somebody comes, you're gonna... Me, if I'm in my own circle, I'm not coming back. That's my thing. So, like, I guess a goal for me then would have to be, like,
balance.
Calm the hell down.
Balance. It's balance, right. Honestly.
No, I agree.
Because it will then come to a person where it's like, you will understand balance when someone comes in and you know that this is just not worth my time, or it's like, oh, this is worth my time, or I'm bored.
I'm also tired.
So why not have some fun?
Goal for the next year: stop wasting my time. Leave me alone. If you're not gonna seriously, and that goes for ladies and men.
I don't know if it's a waste of time.
Ladies and men, you
can't get time back.
Pause. Ladies and men who are listening to this, please stop wasting people's times. Stop going into things with the intention of wasting somebody's time. I beg of you. Time is short.
Okay, don't waste their time.
Sis just told me to waste my time.
No, speaking personally,
in the context of what you said prior to. Don't play that.
I said I don't like to frame the words of wasting time. I think because spend your time and learn from your time.
No, my time has been wasted. Sorry.
I think.
No, but then now you know. Then when the next person comes, you know that's not what you want.
Or you have to make sure that you make those intentions very clear. And obviously, you can't help what other people do. But yeah, but since we're talking about time, I just want to say this. I really do, so I'm gonna say one last thing that I wanted to, like, kind of.
Well, wait, before you say what you're saying, what do you mean? What did you mean by say waste my? when it's tough for me.
You went to it now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so when we were driving, like when we went to get ice cream the other day, and then we were driving home, and then we started talking about like dating, and like you were asking me how like my dating experiences were during COVID because I was reckless in dating in COVID, but like, and in that sense, like even if it doesn't go anywhere, like go and do those things, have those experiences. Like don't just be telling the dude no before you go on the date with the dude, not messaging him back.
Telling me balance,
like you need to do that. You know, like no, I don't
waste time
as your friend. Actually waste time, but what I'm saying is
no. Don't lie to her. Ashley does not waste time.
No. She'll waste their time, like actually, like not like the little like analogy that we're doing. She will literally waste these men's time. Like, so what I'm trying to explain.
Nah,
bro, we working on her. If you hit her up, I got you. It's fine. It's a 2-man process. The thing is, she got like 5 cousins. You're good, I promise. But
the problem, let's talk about it.
No, we don't have enough time left.
No. It's gonna be real quick. The problem is, the real joke is they wasting my time.
No. Actually, you don't even get to the point. Can I finish my sentence? No, they don't get to the point where you don't even discern that.
No, because
actually they breathe wrong and you cut them off.
Yo, you guys are painting the wrong picture of the
Go ahead.
Okay? They're wasting my time. For me, if you want to time. I can't even see.
Take your time.
Okay. For me, if you are interested, show me that you're interested, and don't be a pen pal. See? Don't be a pen pal and take me out. How about that?
Okay. I think that's 2 good asks. What do you mean? Can you elaborate by pen pal?
Just want to text
her good morning. She don't like good morning. Don't text her good morning. With
no other conversation. Every other, how'd you sleep? Every night, how'd you sleep? No, I slept with my eyes closed. Yo, it's tight. What are you doing? How's the day? Like, let's talk about something else. Like,
or just don't talk.
So I want you to say that. Can we talk about something else?
Jesus, no, I just don't talk. They have nothing else to offer.
I think it's giving speed dating.
I hate you.
Oh my god, guys! Let us know if we arrange a speed dating. Would y'all be down for it?
Please.
I'm not coming.
I will come.
Chill. No, let's not even talk about that. But I will be the host because I'm not participating.
What are you talking about?
This
is the season of
only love. She can't participate because
she could press the timer, but I'm
the host.
That's fine, but she's the host, but I'm the operations manager.
How about that? I'm not coming.
Anyway.
Pardon me.
Anyway, though, but like speaking about time, one last thing I want to say, very importantly, like guys, manage your time. Like we're putting all these goals down, and I think Ashley kind of said it before, but like just make sure that you take the time to manage, like to make a plan for your time, however that works for you, so that you can actually accomplish the things that you're setting out to do. Because it's only 24 hours in a day, and these days, the days feel like they're getting shorter, and all types of stuff is happening. And that's a whole different story. But seriously, like that's a very important part. And like for me, where I am now, I've always been a big planner. Like y'all know me, pen it in. If it's in pencil, I might erase it too. I'm not gonna lie. So like, just make sure no, seriously, like make sure you plan your time to set time aside to do everything you want to do. So whether that's making sure you wake up the 20 minutes earlier to do your devotion, or for me, because of how crazy my schedule has been, I have to schedule eating. Also, I will forget. Well, that's just my life. Don't be like me. That's a terrible thing to do. But like, just make sure you do that.
I just want to add one more thing. I know this season's, the sun is setting earlier, so there's seasonal depression. And like I know people's like mental health goes down nowadays. Just know that you wake up every morning for a reason, and God is taking you into this next year for a reason. So I beg of you, be intentional about how you're going to take every single day next year, and push yourself. Even if one day is bad, you pick up and you move on to the next day. But the day before and how you've been before, last year, forget it. That's in the past. Take a step forward into the next year, knowing your value, your strengths, your goals, and step into that next phase and be intentional about how you act in the next year. And also, please, for the life of me, just love on people. There's no more room for hate. Just love on people.
There legit is no more room.
Enough. That's all I have to say.
No vacancy in there.
And to switch things up, Ashley has the quote for today.
Yep. And as we, started off the pod, and all of us mentioned as our goal is to, walk in the step of God. I have a quote from the Bible. It is from Ecclesiastes 11 verse 9, and it's very easy to understand. Young people, it is wonderful to be young. Enjoy every minute of it. Do everything you want to do. Take it all in. But remember, you must give an account to God for everything you do. So there is no more room for hate. Okay? There is no more room for hate.
Amen.
Everything, like this is the goal for everybody that I want to give. Fear God.
Praise the Lord.
Because once you fear Him, there is no more delusion. There's no confusion. Okay?
Oh,
That's
and
it.
just one thing, sorry to add, crazy, but like not crazy, but if you need a Bible verse to get you through your goals, Jeremiah 29:11 is a beautiful verse to help you accomplish that. Go look it up yourself. I'm not going to diminish the quote because it was a perfect quote.
And as always, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, interact with us, comment on our stuff. I be posting stories and y'all don't really answer me, and I don't like that.
Yeah, and if you guys have been paying attention, takeovers.
Facts.
We be on there. Talk to us.
Facts.
So look if you want to date one of them.
Yes. That's not how you could get access to
Anyway,
me.
please, wherever you're listening to, in your car, at work, on your break, please follow us, turn on that notification bell. We drop every other Wednesday. Follow us on YouTube. Please watch the YouTube because that is where you're going to see all the facial expressions, all the things, all the Haribo and the good juice we have. Follow us on Instagram.
Also, with this activity that you just saw us do, make your own goals and share some with us so we can share it on our platform and we can all hold each other accountable. As much as we hold each other accountable, we can hold you guys accountable too.
Yeah.
So please, by all means, share with us your thoughts, everything.
And if you don't want to share, that's fine too.
Facts.
I hope you guys all have a very safe New Year. Please be safe. It gets crazy outside.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
And drink responsibly.
Yes.
I go to church.
What?
You were gassy.
But that's not irresponsible.
All right.
Irresponsible.
Oh,
Yes.
Anyway.
And with that, thank you.